the most terrifying photos in history, and the stories behind them that are just as terrifying. The jaws of a frilled shark. Russian fisherman Roman Fedortsov has caught a wide variety of astounding marine species over the years, but none have ever been as terrifying as the frilled shark pictured here. A living fossil that's remained unchanged for 80 million years. This beast boasts 300 razor-sharp teeth that it uses to eat everything from squids to other sharks. Crime scene message from the lipstick killer. When police entered the apartment of Frances Brown on December 10, 1945, they found the 32-year-old woman dead with a knife lodged in her back, and this ominous message scrawled on her wall in her lipstick. "For heaven's sake, catch me. Before I kill more, I cannot control myself." William Herons, aka the Lipstick Killer, killed 3 more women before he was caught in 1946. While he confessed before his conviction, Herons claimed he was coerced to do so by police, leaving one to wonder whether the real killer might have gone uncaught. The real-life urban legend of Charlie No-Face. The legend of Charlie No-Face spread among children of 1960s Pennsylvania like wildfire. Otherwise known as the Green Man, this faceless figure was said to roam the roadways at night and glow green as the result of an industrial accident. While the legend was eerie enough, the truth was far scarier, and all the more tragic. The story begins with 8-year-old Raymond Robinson, who in 1919 accidentally shocked himself with 11,000 volts of electricity, causing his face to all but explode. He survived despite sustaining disfiguring injuries to his face and arms, then became a hermit by day to avoid ridicule over his appearance. The last portrait of the Lawson family. While it appears to be a normal family portrait, this snapshot was taken mere days before patriarch Charlie Lawson, the man standing second from the right, murdered everyone pictured here on Christmas Day, 1929. Only 16-year-old Arthur, top left, managed to escape being murdered. The experiments of Duchenne de Boulogne. Between 1854 and 1856, French neurologist Guillaume Benjamin Amand Duchenne de Boulogne conducted a series of electrophysiological studies to assess how facial muscles produced our expressions. A noble pursuit, his methods were anything but, as Boulogne used electroshocks on restrained patients to gather the necessary data. The Florida skunk ape. Whether Bigfoot is real remains to be seen, and the same is true for Florida's so-called skunk ape, a lesser-known variation of the mythical primate. Skunk ape was reportedly first sighted in 1942, and the most convincing proof of its existence is this photograph that was anonymously sent to the Sarasota County Sheriff's Department on December 29, 2000. The woman who mailed the ominous photo seen here claimed that the ape-like creature had made whooping noises for 3 straight nights, had an awful smell, and then fled, never to be seen again. Market vendors selling human remains during the 1921 Russian famine. A Soviet couple from the Samara province sells human remains at a market stall in the winter of 1921. That year, the nation was in the grip of a devastating famine that ultimately killed 5 million people and saw countless others resort to eating human flesh in order to survive. A jail cell from the Salem witch trial. This makeshift jail cell truly brings out the horrors of the Salem witch trials. It was in cells like this one that accused witches spent their final moments before being executed. Between 1692 and 1693, more than 200 people were accused, with 19 of those who were found guilty sentenced to death. The last photo of Jolie Callan. On August 30, 2015, Jolie Callan and her ex-boyfriend Lauren Bunner went on a hike through Alabama's Chehalis State Park. The 18-year-old was weeks away from leaving town for college when she agreed to join her frustrated ex on a hike. Unaware he had brought a gun, Callan was taking in the view when Bunner shot her in the head and dumped her body off the 40-foot cliff she is pictured on. This is the last photo of Callan, taken by Bunner moments before he killed her. The tools of Ted Bundy. Early in the morning on October 21, 1975, Salt Lake City police noticed a VW Beetle driving through town with its lights off. The driver refused to stop when the officer flashed his lights, leading to both his arrest and the discovery of this highly suspicious cargo in his trunk. The driver was identified as Ted Bundy, who was subsequently charged with the kidnapping of Carol Durant, one of the lucky few survivors of the gruesome attacks that Bundy carried out with the help of tools like the ones pictured here. The terror of vintage Halloween costumes. This particular vintage Halloween costume was captured on a farm in Camp Dix, New Jersey in 1917, and is undoubtedly more terrifying than anything you'll see this October. A Victorian death portrait. Before burying their loved ones for good, grieving relatives in the Victorian era would honor the deceased by photographing the corpse in what looked like otherwise normal portrait. These Victorian death portraits were surprisingly common, especially when the deceased was a child. This tragic image, for example, was taken in 1855 and features a young boy holding a flower and his favorite toy. Cleveland Torso Murderer, otherwise known as the Mad Butcher of Kingsbury Run. Cleveland Torso Murderer killed, castrated, and dismembered at least 12 people between 1935 and 1938. Seen here are detectives and the coroner examining the remains of 2 victims on August 16, 1938. In a world before Ed Gein or Ted Bundy, these macabre crimes shocked the nation, particularly because the perpetrator was never caught. The Montauk Monster. On a hot summer day in July 2008, East Hampton native Jenna Hewitt spotted an unidentifiable creature on the Ditch Plains beaches of Long Island, New York. As journalists, curious locals, and cryptozoologists flocked to the scene, a slew of theories about this so-called Montauk monster emerged. Some claimed it was a dead raccoon or a pit bull, while others pointed at Plum Island, a secretive animal disease center located not far from where this creature was found. While the corpse is long gone, theories that the creature was an escaped lab experiment remain tantalizing to this day. The first moments of the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. It was the morning of December 26, 2004, when a 9.1 magnitude earthquake emanated from the seafloor of the Pacific Ocean and sparked 30-foot tidal waves that crashed ashore in Indonesia, Sri Lanka, India, the Maldives, and Thailand. Seen here are tourists and Thai natives on the beach of Ao Nang as the first waves arrived. It was one of the worst natural disasters of the 21st century, leaving over 230,000 people dead and millions more displaced. The 1914 eruption of Mount Sakurajima. Now considered one of the most active volcanoes in the world, Mount Sakurajima had been dormant for more than 100 years when it suddenly erupted in 1914, wreaking havoc upon Kyushu, Japan. This volcanic disaster was preceded by several earthquakes days before, which had fortunately led nearly every resident to safely evacuate the area. Nonetheless, 58 people were killed during the earthquake, while the volcanic eruption created a watery strait, turning the mainland into a permanent peninsula.